Excellent. We're recording. So I'd like to make a start. Can everybody hear me okay? Iman or?
Sorry, Izzet, can I make a start?
Yes.
And then we will.
Of course you can. Please introduce us and then.
Yes,
Sorry,
thank you so much. Thanks
I
a lot.
jumped the gun. I'll stop
Yes.
sharing.
Yes, please. Yes.
Thank
Okay,
you so
sorry.
Thanks a lot.
much.
I'm
No,
touching to
that's
get on.
perfect. Yeah, we are excited. So, and I'm happy you are excited too. So,
Always.
but good afternoon, good evening, good morning from wherever you are. So I'm Iman El-Dessouki. I'm Digital Transformation Lead, and I'm IEEE UKI Ambassador. And I'm here with you, and I would like to welcome our audience, our speakers, to our second IEEE UKI Women in Engineering Ambassadors Program 2022 Challenges and Opportunities. So I'm happy to be with you and welcome to everybody. And now let me take you through that attendance notice. Can you move to the next slide, please, Nagham?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. So during the webinar, we will not be able to video share or activate your microphones. So we request participants to use the Q&A panel to post questions. And we will answer all these questions after the presentation. At the end of each presentation, the speaker will select some of the questions if they are too much and we don't have enough time, and we will try to cover as many questions as possible. Any questions that are not answered will be covered after the presentation and the webinar, and we will send these to all the attendees. This webinar will be recorded and broadcasted on the IEEE UKI and Region 8 section. The link to access the recording and the presentation will be sent following, and I think it will be like 1 week or something. We will ask the audience to take a short questionnaire at the end. I'll remind you about it, and I'll post it now on the chat so that you have it in between the presentation. And because we really appreciate your feedback and we want to improve and be better in the coming workshops. Okay, and now I would like to invite Dr. Nagham Saeed to open this webinar. Over to you, Dr. Nagham.
Thank you. Thank you, Iman. You all can hear me well?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So hi, I'm Dr. Nagham Saeed. I'm a member in the Women in Engineering United Kingdom and Ireland Steering Committee. I'm a EEE officer looking after the early profession and the ambassador network. I would like to welcome everyone joining the 2022 Challenges and Opportunity event. This year, the webinar theme is women's role in the digital era. So today we are delighted to have the IEEE President, Professor KJ Ray, opening this event with a welcome note. And also I'm honored by having with us today Professor Izzet Kale, the EEE UKI section chair, and also having Celia with us. Today, Celia Shahnaz, she's the IEEE 2022 chair elected, and also Maria-Alexandra Paun, the IEEE Women in Engineering Region 8 chair. And last but not least, Frédérique Robin, she's from the industry, EDF, Research and Development. Unfortunately, she can't operate her camera, but you can see her face there. Also, unfortunately, Frédérique, she couldn't join us today because of her commitment with the IEEE RTSI, just the conference just happening in Paris, and she's chairing a session there. So unfortunately, she couldn't join us today. So yeah, finally, and last but not least, I would like just to welcome our audience today. We would like to, they are also from industry and academia, from most of them from United Kingdom and Ireland. We are promising them a workshop filled with valuable advices by yourself and just trying to evaluate the women in engineering position in the digital era globally and nationally. And back to you, Iman.
Okay, thank you, Nagham. If you can go to the next slide, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one?
So yeah. So we'll start with the previous one. Okay, we will start with a video from the IEEE president. So he'll give us like a welcome note. So you can run it, please. Thank you. You didn't share with voice, I think. I think you need to stop sharing and then reshare with audio.
This one embedded.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will stop sharing. Okay. I will share from my PC.
Okay.
Can you hear now? Can you hear now? You can't?
No.
Sorry about that.
Maybe Eduardo can suggest
Eduardo? Yeah.
possible solution.
It was working the last time we tried it.
Share with audio.
Yeah, I can't see that option, unfortunately.
Is it possible to, Iman, can you try? Do you want to try?
Unfortunately, I tried it, but the connection is really not that good. So when I tried to run the video from Egypt here, it's not working with a voice and the
There is an option when you say share.
Oh, that's all right. I
Yes.
think we can
We can continue, yeah.
share with audio.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
exactly.
we can go to the next. Yes.
Can we
Okay. So you can start sharing.
Hello, everyone.
It's working.
Yeah.
It's working.
Sorry
now.
about that. Yeah.
That's all right.
Hello, everyone. I am Ray Liu. I have the great privilege to serve as the 2022 president of the IEEE. I want to share a warm welcome to all of the participants. For those of you who are already IEEE members, thank you. I am honored to be your colleague. Let me share my vision with you. For those of you who are not, perhaps my brief following remarks will provide you with some insight into what IEEE does, what it can do for you, and what we can accomplish together. Do you know IEEE is no longer the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineer? It is simply IEEE. My vision is to make it simply your professional home. It is the home of engineers, scientists, technologists, practitioner, and entrepreneur who form the community of IEEE. Our members are experts from the highest echelons of industry and academia and are in every vital area of technology, spanning almost every area one can think of. Our members are computer scientists and electrical, mechanical, and electronic engineers. They are physicists and biologists who use our tool in their daily work. They are entrepreneurs and marketeers who build their business on our technology. They are technicians who demonstrate their proficiency through their technical work. And they are teachers who share their knowledge with their students of science and technology. Long gone are the days when a technologist can count on lifelong employment with a single company. My plan is to build IEEE to be our members' home base, the home for your entire career, to help you with career growth through continuing learning and skill training, job opportunities that offer better career and professional opportunities, mentoring by connecting you with respected colleagues who can guide you, and peer networking by building a strong sense of community. In IEEE, your professional home, we have suites of product and service, including publications, conference, lifelong learning opportunities, society and council, session and chapter, and standards, all available for our members to personalize to meet their desired needs. From when you first join IEEE as a student member until retirement, this professional home offers the product and service required for every stage of your career. IEEE can help ensure you have successful career development with great prospects even when changing jobs. Through the continual learning of practical content and training of new skills relevant to your work to advance your career, IEEE not only provides technology tools, but also personal connections that can help mentor and nurture your career path. Most important, IEEE helps professionals grow their soft skills, such as leadership and the ability for cross-disciplinary collaborations. In essence, IEEE offers you a whole new way of thinking and self-knowledge to consider while advancing along your career path, and for you to use throughout your life. IEEE is a community of career support and professional growth with worldwide network. IEEE is your professional home. I encourage all of today's participants, IEEE members and non-members, to engage with IEEE's activity and initiative, inspire participation from fellow colleagues, and maximize all that your IEEE membership does for you, for our professional communities, and for the benefit of humanity. Thank you. I wish you all a successful event. Please take care of yourself and each other.
Great. So this was the talk from the IEEE chair, and now we are all looking forward for the IEEE Women in Engineering UKI chair. Dr.
Hello,
Izzet.
everyone.
So the previous slide, please, Nagham. Yes. So we are looking forward for the IEEE Women in Engineering UKI chair, Dr. Izzet Kale, Head of the Department of Engineering at the University of Westminster, Director of the Applied DSP and VLSI Research Group, which he founded in the late 80s. So over to you, Dr. Izzet. I'm looking forward and really excited.
Thank you very much, Iman. It says you cannot start screen share while others are participating. Okay, let's see if I can now. I can. Thanks a lot for that generous introduction. I am not the chair of the Women in Engineering in UK and Ireland section. That's Annabelle, and we are looking for a new chair. We'll be looking for a new chair soon. But I am the chair of the UK and Ireland section itself with all its chapters. And as you've said, I'm based at the University of Westminster. And I would like
for that.
No problem. There is always a mistake somewhere, and it's not a problem. In a changing world, as our IEEE president said, things are moving all the time. So today's theme is going to be challenges and opportunities and women's roles in the digital era. And I was asked by Nagham to give a talk, and I said, of course, I'll give a talk. And I said, I have got not much idea about what I'm going to say, but I think I have plenty to say. So I would like, without further ado, thank you very much all for your volunteering and for inviting me to take part in this event and giving a talk about our section and how we support the Women in Engineering Ambassadors Program and Women in Engineering in general. So I would like to move to my next slide. And I would like to just first of all talk a little bit about the UK and Ireland section's major achievements from the previous years. Well, the UK and Ireland section actually is the largest in Region 8 and probably the second largest in the IEEE after the Silicon Valley section. So we are a very large section with many members, and we have got a very vibrant and active grouping of volunteers that work in many different areas. So in the previous years, especially during COVID, we had the formation of our 4 IEEE special interest groups and 1 council chapter, as well as a very important activity for us and development, which was the diversity, equality, and inclusion group, despite the COVID obstacles. So we have got blockchain, quantum, cybersecurity, nanotechnology council chapter, future networks, and this is growing. But most importantly, I would say, is diversity, equality, and inclusion group. And this is of paramount importance, and it's at the top of my agenda as the chair of the section. And I made a pledge during my election campaign that I will strive to improve the diversity, equality, and inclusion in our section, so that we have got more people from different backgrounds participating, and of course support women in engineering as part of this, which is an essential aspect of it. Our section's efforts on humanitarian activities completed its first site project, which was a very interesting and also a very, very nice project, which was on inclusive multi-sensor platforms for autistic kids that encourage social interaction. And we delivered this a conference called IHTC 2021, which was International Humanitarian Technologies Conference, which was first time hosted in Region 8. But for the project that we did, and Eduardo, my section secretary, an exemplary volunteer in our section, was the lead of the multi-sensor platform for autistic kids. And this gave great results and set an example of what we can do with the support that IEEE can give us. Our section's industry support engagement is led by our industry forum and professional registration activities along with this. And our industry forum is focusing on reskilling long-standing employees with digital skills. And I think this is very important. Inputting to to IEEE standard for new technologies and ongoing professional development and demonstration of competence. Industry-led activities are technical and non-technical activities planned or organized by our sections, officers, and EXCOM. And the thematic area, professional development, helping individuals develop skills that help them to perform as rounded key professional, key development areas, including personal, management, and business skills. And I think this is all very, very applicable in terms of opportunities that these activities provides for women in engineering, because this is fundamental in enhancing women in engineering, their abilities to progress and get the support that they need. Another key enabler to increase in the industry, engineering and ability of employability, etc., is the ability to offer professional registration through IEEE from the Engineering Council, and this is an area that we are moving in. Now, if I move in to some of the major achievements, I would like to say that section, despite the pandemic, still maintains its high level of membership and its engagement in the activities. This was enabled through a combination of a vibrant website, a growing social media presence, and available webinar tools. And we are experiencing one of those webinars today, and I'm very happy that you're all participating and giving your time to this. Our virtual existence actually increased our member engagement, as many webinars were and continue to be made available to watch again on the website. And as Iman said, this is going to be available to watch later on for those that want to listen to us again or want to look at it for the first time because they couldn't attend. So it opens and it makes available and it gives more inclusivity. It significantly improved accessibility and most notably continued our traditional IEEE Canaro section Christmas lecture, and I would like to promote that from here. Sometime in the second week of December, we will have a Christmas lecture for our section, which is traditionally held in the Regent Street Cinema, which is a historical location. Our life member group from the UK and Ireland section have unveiled a number of very, very interesting milestones. We had an active shielding of superconducting magnets at Siemens factory in Oxford, Asia, Oxford, as well as the baby computer and the Atlas computer at the University of Manchester recently. And we have got another one coming up, which is unfortunately clashing with our section meeting, which is happening in Ireland, but we will somehow manage to be there in both locations, be it virtually in one of them. Now, most notably, and I find this very pleasing, and I talked about this in a Region 8 event, a presentation at Region 8, is our Women in Engineering initiatives, our Women in Engineering Ambassador Scheme, developed to mentor and involve early career women and students who wish to get involved in organizing events that promote the Women in Engineering mission, but are not, due to reasons of finance, IEEE members, for example. And this is a great event. And our president also said members and non-members. So we are all very inclusive. And I would like to thank all those in this group very much for being so proactive and pushing this mission ahead. Women in Engineering Awards designed to celebrate people who work towards supporting women engineers with a focus on inclusivity. And this is something that I very much support and promote. And hopefully we will have some awards from the region, because we're putting some award suggestions to originate in these areas. And also during the pandemic, the IEEE UK Ireland section, Women in Circuits and Systems workshop was took place with a competition, and this was supported from our Circuits and Systems chapter as well as the CAS Society of the IEEE, bringing together women that work in circuits and systems. And I would like to see more of this in other areas, because there are lots of women that work in these areas that are not coming up to say what they're doing. Our PES chapter created already a Women in Power group, and I think this is exemplary, and I would recommend that others do it too. And they were the winners of the Region 8 Best Large Chapter of the Year 2 times in a row, among other PES award chapters. The Photonics chapter likewise created events that promoted our activities. So if I move on to my next slide, what are the best practices from previous years? Well, we are working closer to student branches, and we want to make sure that our student branch representations are well balanced in the way of the diversity, equality, and inclusion. And officers are responsible for support of the current student branches and assist with the formation of new ones, specifically creation of student branch chapters. And we have got a successful revitalization program, and we've seen an increase in active branches from 8 in 2018 to 36 in 2021. And this is an 81% increase. And I think Lee Cradington is to be credited and praised for this. He's our section representative that takes care of these activities. Also, due to the COVID, the section decided to upgrade the Zoom account in order to offer our XCOM an alternative to the IEEE WebEx to organize and host meetings and webinars for chapters and groups, just like we're using Zoom now. And our secretary put in place a procedure, and secretary is again Eduardo, and I praise people for the good work they do. The procedures to request webinars and meetings and to have events set up and receive necessary guidance to host them. And at the same time, the webinars are advertised through our section channels, e-notices, websites, and Twitter. So we have got presence, and we are pushing it out in the current state-of-the-art media and tools. And the recordings are later uploaded on our website to give our members the opportunity to watch the events on demand. Our section currently has 35 of the possible 39 technical societies. Almost all of them are represented in our UK and Ireland section. And we have identified and agreed common strategies for all the chapters. Now, what are these? Well, in the technical side of things, we should be contributing to bids and projects delivered related technical webinars and publications, membership development, setting up awards, support student chapter formation, subsidizing student society members, employability, startup and accelerators, conference sponsorship and MOUs. This is very important, and I'm saying it from here again, we should first get the section's view and consent before submission to the IEEE Central. With cross-chapter collaboration sponsorships nationally and internationally for all conferences are now mandatory in our section, as well as observation of the day criteria, so that we have got a balanced membership in our program committees, conference organizing committees, etc. Others, they're also looking at ethics standards and policies, and we have got COVID-19 certificates and roadmaps that are in place. Now, what next for the coming months and year? And specifically, we shall strive to support the creation of a well-balanced representation from a day perspective, diversity, equality, and inclusion perspective, in this section with all its chapters, especially in leadership roles. And this is very important because people are not stepping up, people are staying back. And in our section, we will encourage this, and we do encourage it. we should have a member in each of our UK and Ireland chapter and societies to look after the women in engineering activities. And exemplary is what our IEEE COMSOC is doing in our section. We have already put in recommendations for organizing workshops, national, international conferences, to observe the need for day in the organizing and program committees. And here I must say I have led by example, and I put in a bid, not so recently, last year it was, whereby we ensured that we almost had 50% membership of the organizing committees and other committees that were from the women in engineering backgrounds, so that we have got good representation. And we will also be happy as a section to hear from you on women in engineering activities and events you need support for. And we'll endeavor to support these from this section, as well as promoting these at the region and IEEE global levels. So the ball is in your court. We are here to support as a section, and I've got a commitment to this. I've written it down and I'm saying it. So tell us, please, how we can support you more. Thank you. And I haven't gone over time. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. This was amazing, to be honest. Thank you for
Okay,
that.
thank you very much.
You're
Shall I
welcome.
stop sharing now, Iman?
Yes, please. And if anyone has any question, because I don't find any questions in the chat or Q&A, so if anyone has a question, please go on. And if not, maybe we can move on.
I was going to say something that I forgot, and
Yes,
I must
please.
add it.
Yeah.
I was talking with my family, and I'm a father of 3, but I have all boys. And we were I said, I'm going to give a talk. And they said, oh, what is it about? And they said, oh, well, you know what you should say. Just look at mother. Women are so much better than you in organizing things, in making things happen. So don't forget to say that. So we are, as an organization and a society, we are missing out by not having more women in engineering being involved in what we do. So I promised to say it wasn't written down, but I've said it now. So there you go.
Thank you so much, Izzet. Thank you so much for this motivation. And you are really giving us a lot of good advices and good comments and positive energy to keep us going on. So thank you so much for this fantastic presentation. I'm just saying this, the lead is with Iman, but just I had to say something.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yes, and I'm proud of your sons as well. So thank you for raising them in a good way. So
that's the way to do, because you have to start from the young age, and this is the problem that we have. So there you go.
yeah, definitely. So thank you, and you are leading really by example. So we are learning from you as well. So, and I'll try to teach my sons as well.
I can say they're going in the engineering. I've already got one who is an electronics engineer. The other one is going into engineering, and the youngest one is also doing it. So pushing that, but also to keep in mind the global picture and how we should behave.
Yeah,
There
that's
is no
amazing.
question I would like to ask. Is that a question? I think you agree with me that through the pandemic, many, not just female, but also male, they decided to go more for commuting than engineering because of maybe the COVID situation, and we're starting to lose more women thinking of joining engineering. So any advice, anything that you can motivate girls and young girls just to return back for engineering?
Thank you for that. And I think I was talking about that too. We were on a long drive, and I was talking about that too. And subjects like computer science, which is very respectable, are very popular because of the ease of access to the tools and what is what they can do, especially from remote base and remote working point of view. But we are not promoting engineering areas enough to say that there is all that possible with the current technologies that we have that will give us the ability to do things remotely if we wanted to. And the pandemic has shown that to us. A lot of my colleagues, I was head of department until 3 years ago, and then I became research director at the university, Iman. But I think somewhere it says head of department. But when I was head of department, my department was almost 50% women. And I made sure that we had the diversity. Now, this is very important to go down to the beginnings. And our groups within the UK and Ireland section, my way to do it is I used to go to schools and give talks to school kids that were at the age of moving up to doing their A-levels and choosing a career. Now, it has to be earlier than that. I realize that because stereotypes are built in people's heads and their families. And they see that there is this area that is very difficult, very challenging. And, it's an easier way to go that way. So I think we should do it in our families. That's very important. At home, with our friends, but also make links proactively with groups of schools in the vicinity and go and talk to kids and show them how good this is and how exciting it is and how much reward it can have role models going in. And I'll be happy to support you all. And I'll go out with you if necessary to do this. And I think it's very important. This is how it is. You have to try and bend the branch of the tree when it's flexible and it's young. After it becomes a big, big branch and a thick one, it's not going to bend and it's not going to go. So we need to work together to break these stereotypes. That's how I think we can progress.
I
think
have
Celia, she wanted
Nagham.
something. Yes.
Yes, because I really liked the detailed, diversified activities by UK and Ireland section. And in those activities, the engagement of women was really appreciated. However, we want to retain the activities of women and improve it. One very important point for me that you have told in UK and Ireland, there are a lot of life members. It would have been, but many of the sections around the world, more than 160 sections, more than 342 sections in the world in 160 countries, may not have life members or life IEEE fellows. Do you have any statistics that among the life members or among the life IEEE fellows, how many of them are women? This is my first query. If statistics is not there, we can discuss later. The most second step is that how, because we are living in a global village, that how using this experience and this potential, how you want to help those nearby sections, because it is a virtual era, that who do not have the life members, because this important feature and contribution of UK and Ireland section can serve as a great initiative, great example of membership retention of the global IEEE, especially when the undergraduate students, especially female, when they are graduated, and also the female faculty members when they go to pregnancy leave. So actually the statistics or your thought about helping the global membership, whatever way possible, to retain the global membership in case of young undergraduate female student and in case of returning mothers. I think you have a great strength. I just want to know some of your thoughts that can help me, because I will be in Global Women in Engineering. Thank you for my long question, but it's not a question, it's just a discussion and food of thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Celia. That's wonderful to hear. And you're talking to my sentiments. So I also look at not just in the UK and Ireland section. We got life members. How many of the life members, by the way, are women? To be honest, I don't know, but not many. And I don't see many life members in our section that are women that are participating. That's a very good question. Now, life members goes back to a long, long time ago, whereby the engineering field and the profession was not something that women did as much as men did. Now, that is an interesting area. Now, if we come back to the involvement of other international sections, other international groups, it is one of my aims and the condition that I have put in our last section meeting on all my chapters and all people that are organizing conferences, that they must have international, not just national collaboration, but international collaboration, because the world has got smaller, because the world is now flat and we are connected, and we can benefit not just our section, but we can derive a lot of benefit from our international colleagues. And we should involve them and get involved in their activities too. So you asked also a question about what we do with mothers that are going off for maternity leave. To be honest, in our section, I have not thought about this. It's a good question. We have this in my department when I was chairing a department. And this is an important, very, very important issue. It's not a problem, I would say. It's something that needs to be understood, appreciated, and also accepted by all of us, that if we want to involve 50% of our population or more, depends where you are from, you need to make provision for it. So that's a good thing that has inspired something else in my mind to think about, Celia. But I think the important thing is to have diversity, equality, and inclusion at the heart of our activities. And I am a promoter of this, I'm a believer in it, and I lead by example. And an area that you have pointed is very, very interesting and important, and we should. And I think in your areas and in your sections that you're from, you should also say there's this UK and Ireland section. They want to do their activities with international partners. They want to involve international partners. They want you to be a part of it. And I think, Nagham, credit to you and Iman, you have got international partners here. And we are having a plan. And we are hearing each other's views. So I hope that answers your question a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about my excitement and my animation, but
Thank you.
I'm a Mediterranean person by origin, and this is how I am. So sorry.
So important thing that I got an idea that you were a Mediterranean person, and I really like the excitement. And most important thing is that what I wanted to point, if we could find the women from those life members or life IEEE fellow, one or two, we can positively invite them to inspire women like Nagham and Iman and undergraduate students and returning mothers, so that they don't leave IEEE. They retain their membership, seeing those life members, seeing their stories, so they can work as a positive agent for all of us. That's my point. Thank you.
With that in mind, I will put in a request that returning mothers are given the opportunity, if the IEEE doesn't do it anymore, to a fee waiver during their maternity leave, for example. Why not? Or their sections can pay their dues because they've gone out on something to support them. I don't have a problem. Nagham, I think you need to send me a note afterwards on the point so that I don't forget, I think
Yes,
Eduardo, our secretary,
I
is in.
was,
Yeah.
I will
He's in
do
the
that.
meeting. He will remind me because I'll put this on my
Yes,
agenda in my
yes,
next
yes,
section
yes,
meeting
yes,
in Ireland in
yes,
October.
yes, yes,
Thank you
yes, I
very
will do.
much, Celia. That was
Thank
wonderful.
No,
Yes, I will
thank you,
do that.
Celia. And still, now we have 2 questions on the Q&A. So normally, maybe the first question is the hardest. So thank you, Nagham, for starting. Now we have 2 questions.
Okay.
I want to ask how someone can approach to involve in Women in Engineering UKI, being part of it, etc. Thank you.
Nagham, I think it's a question for you.
Well, can you repeat?
Yeah. I want to ask how someone can approach to involve in Women in Engineering UKI, being
Yes.
part of it, etc.
Yes, well, Annabelle, she's our chair, but if I will give my email also. You can contact me and just I will pass that to Annabelle. But we are welcoming everyone to join us, and it's a pleasure to have more female and male to be part of our affinity group. It's a pleasure to have everyone. We will not reject anyone.
Yeah, thank you. So the other one, what would you say to girls in schools and colleges who may be considering engineering as a career or choice option?
Well, we are proud. If it's for me, I don't know if this question also for me, but if it's
Whoever
for
or for
me,
Dr. Izzet,
yeah,
so.
if it's for me, I love engineering. I think women, when they are choosing this as a career, that's what I'm saying when I go to schools also, when they choose this as a career, they really appreciate it because there is a lot of opportunities for women. People like Professor Izzet, they really give the opportunities to women to thrive in this area and show what they've got. So always I tell the young girls in the school, if you choose this field, you will never regret it because it will make you feel that you are appreciated, all your thoughts are really appreciated, and also it's a well-paid job at the end. So yeah, I encourage all the girls to think about it and give it a try. And like what Professor Izzet was saying before, we go to schools, we show them what it's all about. We give them a taste a day. They look at what they will have an idea what the engineering is all about, and it's up to them at the end of the day if they like it or not. But please look at the engineering, know what it's all about. If you like it, don't think about your gender, just don't think about the stereotype. If you like it, just go with it.
Can I just say a few words if you've got time?
Yes,
I
please.
think the most important thing is to actually say that you can do it too. It's a matter of not being stereotyped. It is something that you will derive great pleasure from. You will take your creativity and you'll take it to a different level. I usually like talking to the groups of students that are doing mathematics and physics and sciences. And the punchline is, if you're doing physics, it's an applied mathematics subject. Sometimes it's theoretical. But if you do engineering and you are good at maths, which you must be because you're doing the mathematics A levels, etc., and you are good at physics, then you are going to bring alive your equations. You are going to bring alive all the concepts and have them in the palm of your hand. You see this? This was designed, it's a mobile phone. It was designed by engineers that bring alive the mathematics, that enable others to benefit. You go to hospitals, all the high-tech equipment that is taking care of your health and looks inside you and observes what is going wrong and analyzes. These are all results of clever engineers. And you have an advantage as a woman. You can see more around problems more easily than men. So don't believe the stories that engineering is for men only. Because we have a stereotype in the UK that engineers are people that have got big spanners and all sorts of other things. And that's a big fallacy. So encourage, lead by example, get them to do little examples. And I also go on to my shows with little examples so that they can very quickly appreciate what is going on. Simple. Do some averaging. You put in some shaped noise and do some averaging, and suddenly the noise goes. And then they say, wow, yes, that's what it is. It's engineering. So there you are. I talk too much. I better shut up.
No, whatever you are saying is really of benefit for all of us. So thank you for your contribution. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So now, thank you. Let's move to Celia. So she's a professor at the Department of EEE in Bangladesh since 2015. She has more than 21 years of experience as an IEEE volunteer. She will serve as the 2023 and 2024 IEEE Women in Engineering Committee Chair. She is the immediate past chair, IEEE Bangladesh section. So over to you, Celia.
Thank you very much. Before you start, Celia, can I just say, please don't get me wrong if I need to leave, because I have got a schedule and I informed Nagham earlier. I'm not being rude to you or to Maria-Alexandra. So please forgive me if I leave halfway through. Thank you.
No,
That's
no
really
problem.
appreciated. Yeah, that's all
No,
right.
thank
So
you
that's why we
that's
got
why
the
we asked
questions
the
after each
questions
speaker. Thank you.
earlier. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. And just for everybody's kind information, women in engineering is not just for women, it's for any IEEE member, especially for students, undergraduate student and graduate student. WA membership is free, and also for life member, the WA membership is free, but we have to add it to our IEEE profile in the IEEE card. So this is a very information which we can promote to really establish the diversity and inclusion among our sections. With that said, let me start and let me thank you for the humble invitation and making so much good effort for gathering us together. So I will be very fast, or I will try to cover the important points. What I wanted to say about, since I'm an academician, my topic is research and innovation for how research and innovation can be utilized for women empowerment and lead the digital transformation era. So I will go by, first of all, I want to take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to all who directly or indirectly supported my successful election, because in 1993, WIE has been formed, but this is for the first time a WIE committee chair-elect has been elected by the global WIE membership. Is an opportunity, I should say. It's historical in nature, and it happened in a year when WIE is celebrating its 25 years. So it has increased my commitment more. It's just not an accomplishment to me. It's a commitment to give opportunity and serve others. One thing WIE has done, IEEE WIE, that means they have sent this congratulatory message through their newsletter, to their website, to their social media, to their email, to everything. That's a good lesson, that so that we can learn how to congratulate people on their achievements. And for everybody's information, IEEE WIE has a world-class award-winning magazine. In their June issue, they have published a news, an article, an interview of myself. I will send Nagham, and if possible, Izzet, feel free, find some time to read it, not to know about me, at least to reach out. If you want, you can circulate to your members in the section so they can reach out to me so that I can help them to grow. This is just my brief bio, and I humbly request you to visit my Google Scholar citation so that despite so many limitations of research funding, computational facility, and a less number of PhD students, because although I served in the highest ranked engineering university in the country, but that's a blessing. My students are all going to PhD for MIT, Berkeley, Imperial College London, and so many. So I have so many limitations, but despite those limitations, all credit goes to my female and male students who worked very hard to continue research innovation, especially during the lockdown, and published impactful journals and conferences. And those have been cited by others. That's important. That means it has been useful to the global organization. And the left side is showing you the WI site and other technical society where I'm involved through my research and innovation and professional activities. By the way, I'm founder of 4 technical society chapter in this Bangladesh section, like Signal Processing Society, Robotics and Automation Society, Industrial Application Society, Society on Social Implications and Technology. However, my work is deeply related with engineering, medicine, biology, computational intelligence, computer society, power and energy society, because I apply AI, machine learning, and deep learning for any signal, speech, image, video, genomic signal, power signals, and use in robotics. And the top one is, since my grandfather was a lawyer in Kolkata in the British era, that means I have a very privileged educational background, but I dared to come back to a country where there are a lot of underprivileged people. So I never forget that I have a commitment to connect my research and activities to the one of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, like sustainable cities and communities, quality education, affordable clean energy, right? And if you look at the row, that's the human chain, power and energy society, because as it has talked about women in power. I served as IEEE Women in Power Asia Pacific representative from 2017 to 2021. And this Space Day was celebrated since 2018, and WIE has celebrated IEEE Day. And many people are thinking she's a professor, what she's doing in the field. Yes, it's a symbol of connectivity with students, undergraduate students, our sponsors, entrepreneurs, industry expert, our advisors, our vice chancellors, and that had been followed by many people. These human chain have been followed by many people around the world. So let me tell you about my most favorite research in the most difficult moment of my life during the lockdown. My students were sent back to their village home. They were getting internet connection, climbing up on the tree or going back in the open paddy field. But still, I told them, remain connected, collect the X-ray, CT and ultrasound images. And they came up with a very strong deep neural network that is able to detect COVID-19 automatically. And they could publish in IEEE transaction on artificial intelligence. That gives a hope to every researchers who feel disappointed even in the lockdown. So if I can do, you have to do. Many of you came to this world after me. You got better opportunities than me. If I could do it along with my students, you will do better than me. And I'm an advocate of women for many years, more than 21.5 years. I should say from my younger age in the school, because I was doing, there was no IEEE, but there were outreach programs. So IEEE did not come to my gene suddenly. From the childhood, I was doing the volunteer activities, and I was an advocate of women. But our women in our region are suffering from skin diseases, and they're very shy about it. So this is the digital images of some skin cancers. We are applying our deep learning techniques to detect skin cancer automatically. Think about an app. If we can bring this technology under an app, any women from any part of the world can give the data, and it can be diagnosed, and doctor can send the medicine or diagnosis from any part of the world. So it is scalable research to support our women. Another example is that I support disabled people. This is a text to braille scanner. My first teacher was my maternal grandmother, but majority cases, our teachers are our mother. But think about a mother who is blind, think about a son or daughter who is blind. So we really need to have some technology to support their education, entertainment, and accessibility. This is a text-to-braille scanner. Unfortunately, it is in English because majority are in English literature, but I have applied to our University Grants Commission and get a small fund to do it in my local language, that is, I speak Bangla. And I started working along with my team with sign language. And then again, it is in English. But then I thought that I'm the from only nation in the world who has sacrificed their life to speak their mother tongue. 1952, 21st February. It has been celebrated as International Mother Language Day. So I felt a strong commitment to inspire my students to develop this Bengali sign language alphabet. We can do it in Arabic or any other languages. And it is a scalable research. You see, the sign language has been developed by my students, and we have applied deep neural network to automatically detect it. I have a dream, actually. In my university, I want to see a disabled student came with merit, was able to order a book in the library using Bengali Sign Language, able to order a food in the canteen the way we do. And it is very important. And one important thing is close to my heart is IEEE Women in Engineering Conference in the area of electrical and computer engineering. There are leadership summit, there are a lot of things, but there is no dedicated conference for a woman, at least one woman author, to gather them together. Do not give them a bad opportunity. It's to gather them together so that we can see each other, we can know from each other. And we started in Bangladesh. I was the founder of it. Then I started collaborating with Indian sections like Pune section, Uttar Pradesh section, Bangalore section. We did it Thailand section. This year we will be doing it with newest section of Region 10, Madhya Pradesh section. So I'm really will be very happy one day we could do it with collaboration with IEEE UK and Ireland section. It's a great opportunity then if we do it. And then Region 10 has 3 flagship conference. Region 10 HTC, Humanitarian Technology Conference, that Bangladesh section owned the bid in 2016, and we did in 2017. It was supposed to be stopped, but we brought life to it. We handled 700 participants, and this Region 10 flagship conference survived. I was humbled to be serving as a general co-chair of it. And this is only 10 sections around the world get this opportunity. I really don't know whether UK has ever applied for it. IEEE International Leadership Summit. In 2018, Bangladesh got the opportunity, and we had 300 participants from 13 different countries and 55 speakers. Nagham, if you need any help, please reach out to me. I can really mentor you to submit the proposal. And if you wish to do it with Iman and with a mentor like Izzet, it will be possible to do it. In this leadership summit, we promoted research and innovation because we are part of the largest technical and professional society in the world. So it's not about only leadership. How to be a leader by empowering yourself through research and innovation was the theme of this, our summit. So we, in the section, I really promoted the collaboration between section and chapters. Like for SPS, we have founded IEEE SpeaksCon. For EMBS Engineering, Medicine, Biology, we have formed BasicCon. For Industrial Application Society, we have launched PIACon. For Robotics and Automation, we have launched RIACon. This is a very good example how section and chapter can work together by launching technical, and these all conferences work together in the co-located venue so that we can have interdisciplinary research. And, you know, we have also trained our younger volunteers for social implications of sustainable technology by a symposium. And it is a really important point for UK and Ireland. I don't know whether you have really applied for it. IEEE Humanitarian Activity Committee gives a lot of fund for projects from $20,000 to $60,000. I was a communication chair of Global Site Steering Committee, and Bangladesh got a lot of funds, and we did one women to women empowerment challenge. Our challenge was we have told our students to find one problem faced by our women and provide technological solution. And we have also connected them with the mentors, sponsors, and industry experts so that they can have idea that how they can transform their projects into product. It is really important. Not everybody will be an academician and researcher like me. We want them, many of them can be an employer. It is important to inspire women to be social entrepreneur. And another important thing, those co-located conference, including Week on EC, again, it's a biennial conferences. Again, we did it in 2021 very successfully. So we wanted to, the way Week on EC is collaborated between Bangladesh and other section, other chapter conferences, we want to collaborate with our section and your section. This is the next step. And also we have other members, like we have few life members, and we are looking back and bringing back our life members who did not renew so that we can form a life member affinity group. But we have active industry people, professional people, I should say people who are connected with SDGs. We have students, we have young professionals. To address their need, we have launched in this June another 5 set of co-located conference like IndCon, ProCon, SEMSIS, Student-led Con, YPCon. We can also collaborate in those sectors. And every case, there are a lot of women. This is another opportunity to know the challenges faced by women in such cases and how to mentor them to overcome so that they can lead those initiatives. We want more women to be technical chair, general chair, program chair, reviewer, like that. Like whether a woman can be a head of the department or dean, that's a separate issue. But in IEEE, it's a potential. You can be a session chair, you can be technical program chair, you can be a founder of a new initiative. There's a whole lot of opportunities for you to. So let's stay we stayed about Region 10 HTC, the third largest flagship conference in Region 10. We own the bid. Again, we submitted a bid for second largest conference, 10 SIM, and it was in the pandemic year 2020. Everybody said it has to be stopped. I told my volunteers, the show must go on. We really need to do justice to the authors who has submitted papers, and we got 1,000 papers. We must do something. We cannot stop it. Research must go on. And ultimately, virtually, Region 10 SIM 2020 became the first Region 10 flagship conference, which was fully virtual. And that has given hope to the first largest Region 10 flagship conference, 10Con, and many conferences in the Region 10. We have shared everything through our newsletter, that how we have designed the virtual rooms, how we have conducted and handled so many parallel sessions, so many speakers, okay? And in 10 SIM, the biggest contribution was WI and V-Power track. There were 65 participants for 11 countries, because from the beginning of the March lockdown in the June, people just got an opportunity to share their challenges they're facing through 10 SIM. And another important initiative is International COVID-19 Congress. That is for the first time. You know, this is for the first time that Toshi Fukuda, our then IEEE president, visited virtually to IEEE Bangladesh section twice, one for 10 SIM, another for International COVID-19 Congress. It really inspired our women who has participated in idea contest, project contest related to COVID, and their debate competition related to COVID. And in parallel to IEEE COVID-19 Congress, we have the Women in Engineering Tech Summit, where we have really learned that how our women are really surviving, especially in the industry in the COVID-19. And 2021 was phenomenal. We did International Women in Engineering COVID-19 Congress for the first time in the world. And I have seen that how our silent heroes like Nagham and Iman and Maria are working very hard for their research, innovation, and work-life balance. I was really amazed to listen to their project, to listen to their effort in COVID. And since I'm also chairing Global Signal Processing Society Women in Signal Processing, in our flagship event, we have gathered IEEE President 2021 Kathleen, IEEE past President Leah, who was also Signal Processing Society, and in between we have invited Vandi Varma, who is from NASA, so that we are inspired to do collaborative research. Also, we gathered our president, SPS president, president-elect, and our VPs, and especially our Women in Engineering Chair, Jennifer, to see what they're thinking to promote diversity and inclusion. In our next big ICIP and another flagship event, we wanted to know that how our different technical societies are thinking and how to do industry collaboration. That's why we have invited Aaron Rawls from IBM Z, and we listened to Dolmanova, who was Photonic Society president, a woman society president. That's a great thing. And she was a Division 10 director. And also our EMBS champion, Caroline from Region 7, and also Kathleen for Aerospace and Electronics Engineering Society. His part, she is part. Actually, we wanted the good practices happen across technical societies to promote diversity and inclusion. This is very, very important. And this year has been more challenging. Again, in ICAS, we wanted to bring related society, like Barnett, who was the past president of IEEE Computational Intelligence Society, and Leila, that University of Maryland College professor, but she's a Division 8 director-elect, but she was past president of Computer Society. These are amazing stories. If you listen to them, these are sister societies. This gives us a hope that we can bundle our membership using the related and closely related society and give some benefits to our students and young professionals. And also it is important to see how we can promote our members, especially women, for industry and academia collaboration. It is important to know what is the path from academia to industry and entrepreneurship, and what are the potentials which members have. That's why we have invited Joanne, Chair IEEE Entrepreneurship Committee, and Vincent G. Puri, Region 8 Director, and who serves in Entrepreneurship Committee, FK from Hawaii, and Ravikaren Annaswamy, President IEEE Technology Engineering Management Society. You know, TAMS is, and many people think I'm in business. How can I be IEEE member? This TAMS is a place for business people. We need business model. As engineers, we need to know many economic things, how to write a good project. So it was important to know from Ravi Kiran about TAMS and what is our scope to contribute in SCAM. And we had only ICASP and ICIP. As a chair, I really wanted to engage our members in different days related to women, like International Women Engineering Day, IEEE Day, Breast Cancer Awareness Program. So we started International Women's Day celebration from 2021, and we did in 2022. 2021's Dr. Karen, she was IEEE WA chair like me, and she's also SPS chapter chair in Boston. And this year we did Dr. Nelly Prasad, she is IEEE VT's membership development VP. And it's very important. And in IEEE Day, we connected with IEEE Communication Society Women in Communication Chair, Mighty. So it is a good learning. It's not always bring your own people, bring others to listen from them, to know from them. And this is a Signal Processing Cup competition. I have been a supervisor since 2015. It's a global competition where there are very less female supervisor and female students. So for the first time in 2015, my student got 5th rank. They were very upset, but I told, no, show is not end. Wait, we have published 3 journal papers from there, and they got, one of them got admission in University of California, Riverside, another got in Princeton University, who is the Ivy League, and another become one of the world famous GRIM developer. I was emotional because the opportunity that I could not get to go to Princeton University, they got it. So, but at times they thought that the game is over, and they got 5th rank. In the lockdown in 2020, in the Speak Up competition, my student was 4th position winner, and VIP Cup, my students were 5th position winner. It's really important to participate in the global competition and promote our women, no matter what is our position. We'll know new topics, we'll know new softwares, and we can promote it towards journal papers. It is important. Signal Processing Society, Nuclear and Plasma Science Society has many opportunity for applying for winter school. We can engage our interested members. I did it in Bangladesh, and that has helped us to receive the chapter certification. And you can see there are a lot of women who are really leading signal processing. And also, this is Power and Energy Society Women in Power Congress for the first time in Region 10. I had the opportunity to work with Jessica, who is Vice President, and also Bruno Meyer, who is Technical Activity Board's Vice President now. It's a great opportunity to know, especially the women in Taiwan, women in Hong Kong, women in Singapore, how they're working in the power and energy industry in the lockdown. And recently, I have talked in IEEE Power and Energy Society general meeting about how to reduce carbon emission, which is a climate change problem. And I have talked about use of artificial intelligence in reducing carbon emission, like demand side management. So this was really interesting for others. Now everybody is using AI. Everybody knows what is the traditional way of reducing carbon emission, which is an important threat and handle. But it is really challenging to use AI in solving those problems. And this is, you know, about Section Congress. Next Section Congress will be Ottawa next year. And you left side top, I provided technical session from PES Women in Power along with Women in Power Chair sign-up. And there are a lot of things. That was the second row, middle picture is the first Women in Power conference by Global PES. It was in New Delhi. And I myself had the opportunity to introduce and volunteer our female volunteers to introduce technical sessions in leadership summits like Malaysia, Goa, Kerala, and Sri Lanka. This is a humbling experience for me. Many of them are now doing PhD in Georgia Tech, Stanford, and many other places. It gives me a pleasure that how they're doing and how IEEE has reshaped their career and that helped them to get a good PhD admission. They have a new life. SSIT is one of the oldest society. We collaborated. I really led a Women in Engineering panel in their flagship conference. For UK, ISTAS is their flagship conference. So we can inspire our participants and women to go to ISTAS or learn from ISTAS. I really learned from good practices of African women, US women, Australian women, and implemented those issues in Bangladesh. And apart from Region 10 Humanitarian Technology, there is a Global Humanitarian Technology Conference every year in California. And there I led a WI panel to know what our Region 9, Region 7, and Region 1 to 6 women are doing. And that was a good learning for me. This is a collaborative event of We Power, a World Bank initiative. We work under STEM education, professional development, recruitment, and retention. This is very, very important for the digital transformation in the digital era, because power and energy is an important factor in many countries because we want electricity for all. So this is some of my awards. It's not a list of awards. It's a list of comment and list of hard work. you know. And 2013 was WA Professional Volunteer Award from Region 10. That is the highest honor from Region 10. 2015 is the WA Inspiring Member Award from the Global WA. That is the highest one from WA. And 2016 in MGL Leadership Award. 2019 Region 10 Volunteer Activities Outstanding Volunteer Award. And 2021 amazing. I was elected WA Chair Elect. At the same time, I was the winner of 2021 IEEE Achievement Award. So who is next? It's some of you. It can be Nagham, it can be Iman, it can be Maria. Why not? Only difference is you do not need to start from the scratch, because I started from the scratch. I'll be there to support you. If you need any help from me, just reach out to me. And one important story I want to tell you. This is the Women in Engineering Affinity Group. That became the best one in the Region 10 and best in the whole world. Also, WA Student Branch, for which I am the faculty advisor, became the best one in Region 10, best in the whole world. So since I worked very truly and sincerely for my group, that has contributed for my individual awards. And finally, I have helped my section to win 2018 IEEE Outstanding Large Section Award winner. That's a great feelings for my section volunteers, and I was the first female section chair in 25 years history of our section. And also EMBS Medicine chapter, for which I'm the current chapter chair. We received 2020 EMBS Regional Outstanding Chapter Award. And I told you, and from SPS, we got the chapter certification. This is really important, that how staying in Bangladesh, we did increase the visibility of the members of Bangladesh, visibility of the Region 10 to the rest of the world. This is very, very important. And I think we are engineers. We can change the world as we are engineers. Only thing is that no matter what, we have to support each other fiercely. We have to be lifelong friends. Otherwise, we'll be broken into pieces. And if we are broken into pieces, we can not lead this smart world and we cannot reach to our goals. So I think a person should not be evaluated based on where she is or he is, based on which country she belongs to, how small the country is. Important is if you have a merit, if you have a passion, if you have an action, and if you have well-documented accomplishments, your actions will be spoken. Sometimes your award will be delayed, sometimes your position will be delayed, but no matter what cannot be delayed, it is your spirit. It is your spirit. And continue doing hard, find your mentors, and let us do collaborative events. Thank you, Nagham, for putting so much effort. I was inspired seeing you, and I was really excited to share a few thoughts with you so that we can work together and we become lifelong friends, and we can support each other for any cause. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Celia. This was very amazing and very inspiring for all of us. So thank you. And I think all of us enjoyed your talk and your achievements and everything. And we are all looking forward for more achievements from your side and to look up for you. And we do more achievements ourselves. And now we need to move for our next speaker, Maria-Alexandra Paun. So I'm really looking forward to the telecommunication engineer at Swiss Federal Office of Communication. She is current chair in the IEEE Region 8 Women in Engineering Committee, chair of the IEEE Women in Engineering Affinity Group in Switzerland. So over to you, and looking forward for your presentation.
Thank you very much, Iman. That's very kind introduction. Just a second until I just share my screen with you. I think it should come right away. Okay.
Yeah, we can see it.
I'm entering in full screen mode as well. Okay, so I think that's the one. Yes, thank you so much for having me, to Nagham for the initiative, to Iman for kindly introducing me, and also to the other panelists that have done a great job. It's very tough for me to follow such beautiful, two inspiring talks given by Izzet and Celia. It was amazing to be on the same panel with them. I really had nice pleasure of following up to their expectations. Okay, so so I'm currently chairing, as has already been mentioned. I'm currently chairing the Region 8 Women in Engineering Subcommittee. And I just wanted maybe to check with you what's the time that I have for the presentation. I don't want to take too much, so maybe just to see how much time we've got.
Yeah,
for
15 minutes.
15 minutes. Okay, 15 minutes. Okay, great. Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to be talking today a little bit about, okay, my own reflections as a female engineer, but yeah, which also, of course, entails focusing both on our work, which you know as an engineer or as a scientist, but it will also be focusing on the voluntary work that we are doing within Region 8. And I also be highlighting a little bit of about IEEE Switzerland Women in Engineering Affinity Group, which I am also chairing. Okay, so let us now talk a little bit about the activities that we have been doing at Region 8, both in the past, some ongoing ones, and some future ongoing perspectives. So I have the pleasure of having a great team. We are 9 of us. So it's myself based in Switzerland, Maria, and then we have past chair Anna, then we have our first member Anna Margarida, then we have Sally, then we have Wafa, then we have some corresponding members, Dora, Cassie. We have a male member. We're very happy about that. So we have Saeed on board, and he's great, and he's liaising actually with the young professionals. So the idea for us is to have our members to each have a certain role, and also to liaise with certain important affinity groups like the one of young professionals. We have Sally as well. She's from Kenya, and she's doing a great job liaising with the student activities committee. So we believe that is really important not to be, let's say, disconnected from this, and to have a good overview in terms of women in engineering, collaborating with both young professionals and student members. Yeah, so also we have an ex officio member, corresponding member Samina, and she's from the Global Women Engineering Committee. All of them are doing a great job. I'm very happy to be working with all of them. Yes, so if you wanted to get in touch with us, we have here our website address, then you can write to us. That's our email address that reaches out to all of us, to the group. And obviously we have some Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts, and which you can access them or have a look at them by using the handle at Region 8 WIE. At this time, I also wanted to share with you our personal email addresses that are located in this table, as well as giving an overview of our role. We do believe that by assigning a certain role in our subcommittee, as well as by allowing for mutual collaborations and communications, we can achieve our goals. And as our stated objectives are the one of all of you, so promotion of women in engineering, encouragement of women in engineering, as well as giving them a platform where they could exchange, where they can make their voice heard, where they collaborate with other people, and they can advise and advance further in their own personal and professional careers. An overview of our activities will be devoted this time now today to give you just a glimpse of our recent activities. If you ever were to be interested to learn more about Region 8 Women in Engineering Subcommittee, you are more than welcome to check our bi-monthly reports, which are found online, which we normally present at the Region 8 meetings. At this time, I also wanted to highlight the fact that we strongly believe within our team that digital communication is a very important aspect in both attracting and retaining members and keeping them updated, informed, and satisfied with our activities in order for them to stay with us. And good public content might incentivize sections to create sections women in engineering affinity groups if none is existing. As you all know, Region 8 is the most the largest, the most vast region out of all 10 regions of IEEE, and it encompasses Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So all in all, there are approximately 60 different regions, different countries. And we are present with women in engineering local affinity groups at section level in approximately 50 out of 60 sections. So there's still some work to be done in order to get all the sections to have their own local section women engineering affinity group, if there is none at the moment. Yeah, so we successfully participated in also some conferences and also in the judging of the Region 8 Women in Engineering Awards. We give 5 awards every year. These are to recognize the commitment and the merits of volunteers, may they be a section level, a student branch level, and these are also given to acknowledge for the merits of the sections or the affinity group Women in Engineering. And we also have a special award, which is called Clementina Sadua Award, which is given in the memory of a very hardworking and lovely female. And this is an extra special award that we give yearly, and it's called Clementina Sadua. Yeah, so I just wanted to highlight one of our biggest events of this year. It was actually the participation of our subcommittee in the WIE Global Live 12-hour marathon, which took place on the 8th of March of this year, which is actually International Women's Day. And it was developed in order to be celebrating the 25th anniversary of WE. And Region 8, with me as a speaker, had one of the highest slots of 2 hours and 30 minutes. We went live for this time, and we had the opportunity to showcase our activities as well as giving a highlight of individual contributions from several women in engineering section affinity groups, including Romania, Croatia, UK, and Ireland, present here today. Okay, so we had the requests to support some conferences, including Melecon and also the International Youth Conference on Energy. Sometimes we just give a support. We couldn't attend those 2 events this year, unfortunately. Okay, one important activity that we have done was our involvement in the Student and Young Professionals Conference or Congress, which took place at the beginning of the month of August in Tunis or Tunisia. And then we had a lot of great activities. We had 1 track, we had 3 workshops, 1 panel discussion. So I had both my colleagues, Wafa and Sally. They represented us and they did a great job. Then we also supported the IEEE Power Africa 2022 conference in Rwanda, which is actually taking place in parallel with the RTSI conference that I'm now attending physically in Paris. I'm now physically in Paris located for the conference, and this is actually also finishing today. We offered the bronze sponsorship to this conference, and we also had Sally as our group representative. She did a great job. She also organized several talks and panels. Okay, so I also talked about this RTSI, which it's a flagship conference of Region 8, which normally would take place in Italy. It's the first time that it's taking place in Paris, so in France. As you know, this conference is a nice conference because it gets the support of several sections, including UK and Ireland section, part of the co-sponsors, technical co-sponsors. Switzerland section was also one of the technical sponsors, France, and I think Croatia and some others. But the thing is that this is an opportunity for sections to collaborate more closely. We also provided support to the Returning Mothers 2022 conference, which is a hybrid event, but this is entering into the 2nd year of collaboration, and Region 8 WE is a communication supporter, and we also explore some financial ways of sponsorship. And Dora is our main point of contact. Dora, she's a great team member. Okay, so I already talked about the awards. So 5 awards to judge. We are doing them as we speak. The submissions have been already collected via the online platform, and we are judging and scoring them at the moment. Yeah, so we are all keep working on our 3-month action plan. We normally always do every year 1 yearly meeting with the Region 8 sectional AG leaders, so the chairs. And this, I think this year is going to take place in October. More information is going to follow up. This is, a 2-hour online meeting with all the leadership of local affinity groups in different countries of Region 8. And then one of our most upcoming, let's say, event is the one in Egypt, the Student Young Professional Congress. We are planning to have 2 women engineering workshops. This is going to take place in September, and Donna will represent us. More news can be found at our website, which is linked here at the bottom of the slide. Okay, just wanted to give you some numbers in terms of female and male participation in the Student and Young Professional Congress or conference, which took place in Tunis at the beginning of the month of August, which was supported with panels and other talks. And it's really nice to see that this has been kindly provided by the organizers. We got to see their statistics. And so females, they had 74 participants, while male 132. So I think it's not so bad in terms of the gender balance, because normally when you go to some technical conferences, there is much less female participation for the speakers. So we were really happy that we could see such an improvement in the gender balance of this Congress. Okay, so now I'm just not going to talk too much about this, but just wanted to tell you that we had an opening ceremony keynote delivered by my colleague Wafa in this Congress in Tunisia. And then we also had some technical talks, including the one from Ms. Kale, which she talked about how does keystroke dynamics tell us about, or what does keystroke dynamics tell us about emotions, and how artificial intelligence can intuitively humanize computer interaction. So that was a technical talk. And these are some lovely pictures from the audience and from the speaker. And then we also had a keynote, or we helped in organizing a keynote speech by a former Region 8 president, Ms. Margareta Eriksson, and she provided a really nice talk about how one can manage a successful career, of course, along with an active volunteering journey. I think you are all exposed to that. So, of course, we all have our jobs, and on the side, we take the time to volunteer for IEEE. So this was quite an interesting talk, and many volunteers appreciated it. And a volunteer can be a career booster at work, definitely. So this, of course, Margareta, you can see her on the left-hand side picture, and on the right-hand picture, you can see some feedback. They all believe that this was an inspirational talk, which produced a lot of wisdom and fun and incredible event. So we were really happy to see that. More pictures from the audience. And then we also had another technology-related talk, which is about the demands and reviewing the market demands for the autonomous vehicles. This was delivered by Samina. Yeah, some pictures from the audience, including the speaker on the corner in the left-hand side. Yeah, and we also developed a panel, and this panel discussion was amongst a few ladies. Yeah, and this was moderated by Sally, our team member. She did a great job. And also Sarah, she's a Region 8 member activities chair. So Samina, Olfa, and Margareta all participated in this panel talk. You can see here, yeah, you can see both the panelists as well as the audience. Okay, so also talked a little bit about the Power Africa conference, and yeah, this takes place in Rwanda by the end of today. And great speakers were also invited to participate in a great panel. And this took place on the 23rd of August, so this week. And this is just a lovely picture of the panelists. And this conference was also an important conference because it focused on the convergence of national and off-grid systems, as well as giving an overview of the roles of renewables, productive use, and electric mobility. So this took place in Kiwali in Rwanda. Yeah, some lovely picture again of the panelists. They look quite happy. So I think it was quite successful. Okay, some picture of the whole attendees or part of the attendees. Okay, so if you were interested to follow us, we have Instagram, yeah, we have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Using this handle, you can reach out to us. Okay, so maybe just finishing now with giving you some women in engineering statistics. Actually, now I'm talking in my capacity of Region 8 chair, and one of the most comprehensive, let's say, reports that we found on the internet publicly available is one coming from UK and Ireland. I mean, it was done in UK, let's say, and this really shows some statistics about how many females are pursuing engineering careers. So I think it's great to discuss this today, as we have so many representatives from UK and Ireland section. Okay, so this was done by some reports from IET, so probably you know. So it is, I think, Institute of Electrical or Institute of Electrical and Technical. I don't know really what the abbreviation is for, but it's from UK, so I know that you know more. IET. So this was about the skills and demands from industry, also in terms of making an analysis of gender balance. And some of the statistics which are highlighted in this report have not changed significantly since 2005. For example, the number of women in engineering has remained under 10% of the total engineering workforce in the UK. The gender balance in the profession remains one of the worst or the lowest in Europe. Fortunately, being part of Region 8, we look into the statistics of all our countries, and we looked into the statistics of UK and Ireland, and we also looked into the statistics of Switzerland, where I'm living, and some other statistics, because in terms of countries, the percentage of female pursuing technical sciences career can be higher or lower. Yeah, so we just wanted to emphasize that obviously retention of women in science, engineering, and technology is an important issue, which has economic and social justice implications. The situation is sometimes described as, you all know, the leaky pipeline. If you go onto the Google and if you look up this leaky pipeline concept, you'll come across a lot of data and information. So scientists and engineers experience a flow along the science career pipeline, and sometimes they leak out and they are lost to science. And sadly, sometimes most of what is lost comes from females, because they might decide not to pursue at the end of their master or their bachelor studies. They might not pursue an academic career or an industry career for some reasons. Yeah, we really want to address this leaky pipeline. Okay, some key messages again taken from this report, which is really with respect to the United Kingdom. And yeah, so this survey indicated that only 11%, so that was in 2017, that it was really the latest data that they have, because they had a huge report, and I think they don't do it like every year. So this comes from maybe 5 years ago, but I think more or less is quite relevant still. So that indicated 11% of the engineering workforce is female in UK. But this has undergone a positive change from the 9% that was in 2015. And on the other hand, the number of women which are registered engineers and technicians has dropped actually a little bit. Unfortunately, UK has one of the lowest percentage of female engineering professionals in Europe, but less than 10%, as this report is saying, while Latvia, Bulgaria, and Cyprus lead with nearly 30%. This I can vouch for this number, because I'm originally from Romania, so we do have a lot of female engineers in our country, a lot more than the national or maybe the international average values. And also in Switzerland, also it's not so good. It's approximately 40%. And in India, I know the numbers are also very high, approximately 30%. Also female students are women, so that's also positive. And of course, the number of women in computing degrees programs, this is even worse. Unfortunately, engineering is quite vast. I'm a computer scientist also by major, but I did a lot of work in PhD in microsystems, microengineering. But I must say that in computer degree programs, there is really the lowest of female representation. This has been said by the statistics. Okay, so this also have some other statistics with respect to apprenticeships in engineering and other construction skills start. Okay, so I won't go too much into that, but this is really speaking, I think, to the UK audience, because it's like the GCA and the GCSE and the A-level subjects, which are taken by girls. Yeah, only 20% of the A-levels physics students are girls. So yeah, obviously, I think this report is pointing to UK, but this is just pointing to all of the countries in Region 8, which I'm representing today, because all the countries, I think, need to significantly increase the number of people with engineering skills. And some reports pointed out that there is a shortfall of STEM skills, which is quite large at 40,000, but in 2017, the annual shortfall of the right engineering skills is anywhere between, 25,000 and 60,000. This is not only for UK, as I said, with some modifications, it's also valid in some other countries. I think we just, of course, need to increase the number of students pursuing university degrees. May they be ultimately both female and males, you know. So yeah, okay, so this okay. So yeah, this I think maybe one last question is that engineering is really important, not only to UK but to the world, because it contributes to more than 25% to the GDP, and it brings a lot some considerable financial assets to the economy. Okay, so yeah, this is of course something that is worth pointing out, that diversity in the work crucial for innovation. Having mixed teams with both female and males is very good for the creativity. It has been observed, and also for the production in the workforce, at the workplace. Yeah, so this is important to have a diverse and mixed team for the innovation. Okay, so yeah, I think that's all I wanted to finish here. That are my direct contacts. So as I said, I'm working now for the Federal Office of Communication. I worked in academia for many years. Also did my PhD at Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Lausanne. But you can reach me at this personal email address that you can see at the bottom of this slide. And I'm now open for your questions. Thanking you for your very kind attention.
Thank you so much, Maria. This was very interesting. And thanks for all the statistics and all the numbers. It really makes difference because sometimes the general talk is really different from the real data. So thank you for exerting that effort and getting us all this accurate data. Thank you so much. And
my pleasure.
Now I think, thank you. And now we'll move to our last speaker, Frédérique.
Thank you very much.
So she has thesis in mathematics. You're welcome. So she has thesis in mathematics applied to biology, where the objective was to analyze a cell population. The postdoctoral work on blockchain and distributed systems, spent a year as a data scientist in computer vision at Fujitsu Technology. So over to you, Frédérique, and we are really sorry that we are running out of time, but we are still hearing you and excited and waiting for your presentation.
Frédérique, can you hear us? Yes, I think you can. Can you talk so we can hear? We can't hear you, Frédérique.
Does it work now? Sorry.
Yes, it works. Yes,
can you hear me now?
Yes, we can, clearly. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, can you see my screen as well?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so, well, today so first of all, thank you for the invitation. And I'm kind of really happy to heard about some past experience about women. So thank you a lot for sharing this. What I'd just like to share with you today is, well, what is doing my path as a young woman in digital area from academia to industry. So first of all, I'm just going to present what I did. So I have really short experience compared to other person here. I started so I get an engineer diploma from École Polytechnique in France, and so in major in both applied mathematics and biology. So in applied mathematics, as you can guess, there is not so much women, while in biology there is much more women. So I kind of seen like two places where either a lot of women or not so much women. And this was really like enriching experience. After that, so I decided to keep going in PhD thesis in mathematics applied to life science because I was interested about how can I use math to understand biology. And so my thesis subject was about ovarian follicles. So it's definitely a subject for women. So an ovarian follicles, it's a cell which is going to give like an oocyte, which is the egg cells. So after that, once fecundated, it's going to give a baby. And well, I was really more. I was curious about keep going in mathematics. That's why I switched, and I went at INRIA in Rennes, where I work on distributed systems and blockchain analysis. And after that, so in 2020, COVID happens. So I have like either I stay on academia or I switch back to industry. So I decided to switch on industry, and I passed 1 year as a computer vision data scientist at Fujitsu Technology. And finally, I I decided to go back to research And so now I'm a research engineer at EDF, which is a French electrical company, where I'm working on subject about AI and numerical simulation. And okay, so as you can see, I did a long road trip in a really short period. So what did I learn from this experience? And what did I learn also? What did I see as a woman? So the first things I would like to share with you is, okay, how did I get into academia and what did I learn from this? So most of you must know that getting into academia involved to start a PhD thesis. For that, you need to find a funding, you need to find a subject, supervisors. Then you have to make the PhD, and if you want to keep going into academia, you need to find a postdoc or a post and so on. And okay, so for me, during these 4 years, academia was like very stimulating and very challenging, but yeah, sometimes it can be hard to find one's place because it's a highly competitive middle, and yeah, you have to be you have to have mentors. But what I see is like it was not really a problem of being a woman. It's like men have the same problem, and in fact, I've seen that women are kind of advantaged, at least in France, because this is all about what happens in France and what I see about my own. And what I see is that, for example, for getting some funding, women are really advantaged because we can have like HealthMag funding for women. So that's great. That's really great, and this can like help women to say, okay, I can try, I can do it. But the problem with that is that there is also some downside. So what I've seen is that sometimes in some meetings I was like always put forward, but just for being a woman, not for being competent into my field. So sometimes it's a bit weird, but okay. And also, but I think it's a problem that most of women share, is that we are, especially in mathematics and in computer sciences, you are always asked to participate to events. So thesis juries, for instance, where you need to have at least one woman. So if you'd like, I think that in France, in computer sciences, there's like 10% of women. So that means that they need to be present at all the juries, which is a bit complicated. So, well, that means that it's a lot of time taken away from for your main activity. So, sometimes it's a bit not nice for women at least. So just yeah, I would like to share this facts. They're saying, okay, it's good to be a woman, and sometimes we have some some other drawbacks of that. And okay, so well, after that, since I decided to switch into company, my big question at this time was to say, okay, how I'm going to find a job in digital area, especially when you won't like to find a job in like computer sciences or data sciences, which is more a man world. And what I realized is that, okay, so first of all, how I can do that, I just use my own networks. I also discover a lot of women's networks. So for instance, since there is a women in machine learning, there is also IEEE and so on. So you can find women, you can ask to them to help you, to give you some advice. And for what I see, again, during the hiring procedures, is that I find some strange similarities with academia. So for instance, I have some offers where the person in front were more happy to have a woman and that's it. So it can happen sometimes. And well, just one advice is just talk with as much people as you can into the company just before said yes. And this is a drawback, but the pros is that data science, so digital area, and especially like data science, is a place with many people from many different backgrounds. So I found it really enriching. At the beginning, I was like a bit scared about jumping into this world, and I realized that since people are like really different, being a woman, it's not a problem in that domain. So yeah, when going through data science, it's a cool middle. A question for a young person is how do you find the right job in the digital area, and how could you be happy with it? And yeah, again, I talk about finding mentors, but for me, it's like really crucial. You need to find people to talk with, both women and men, so that they can talk about what you're doing, talk about what they expect to do in 2 years, in 5 years. And so, for instance, in data science, you have a lot of diverse jobs like data scientist, data analysis, front end, back end. And when you don't really know this area, it's really nice to talk with different person to know exactly where you will be the more happy. After that, so, well, it's a general talk, but be yourself and not what others expect you to be. And it can be really complicated when you're both young and a woman, because, for instance, well, I would give some example later, but after that, you have to make it fit. So it's something, I'm not really a passion person. So just, yeah, be patient and resilient, and just know that it's a good job is not, you have to build it. It's not going to be give to you like straightforward. You have to work on it, and don't forget that you are not the only one. So yeah, be included into, yeah, talk to other peoples, and find like other association, other, so like IEEE, for example, or women in machine learning Dutch, for sharing experience and see how you can handle your career. And I hope, yeah, I was a bit quick, sorry for that. And thanks you again a lot for everything you've done. So, well, it's really, really amazing.
Thank you so much. This was what you have done is really amazing, because we were running out of time and you are very punctual and you finished just on time. So we really
Yes.
thank you, and it's amazing. And I can tell you how this was really interesting, because thank you for sharing your experience with us. You like made the balance between the professional ones and the youth, and your experience and your knowledge and everything, and how you have both the academia and the industry. So thank you so much for sharing. I think everyone will benefit from this. And I really want to thank all of you, all the attendants or the speakers. Thank you for your time. We all enjoyed that. And I hope everyone already enjoyed what we have done. And please have like 5 minutes even offline to give us your feedback by filling this survey. The survey already, it's here on the screen, and I already pasted it on the chat. So we would like to hear from you, and thank you so much, and wait for us for the coming events. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Nagham,
very
Iman.
much. If the speakers can wait for like,
Yes,
if
yes.
you
Hello.
just
There are
can,
questions.
sorry.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. If the speakers can wait, and even the audience to have like a just I can take an e-photo for
Sure.
our media.
So
That would be great.
we are
can
preparing
allow-
for a group photo.
Yes, if it's
Nagham?
possible. Yes. And
Yeah.
also I would like to thank
So
everyone
I
for
have
this
kept
beautiful.
some screenshots when Izzet
Yes,
was
please
there.
share,
I'll
please
send those
share.
screenshots to
Yes,
you,
yes,
right?
yes. It's shame is that also
Please.
left. But yeah, me too. I would like to thank everyone for this fruitful event. Just really, we didn't have enough time to have like a panel and discussion, but the discussion which happened in the beginning was really, really interesting. And just I'm glad that we've got the recording later on to listen to all these amazing talks and all the information that you provided, because really it will help us to know more and where to tackle. Besides, also I forget to mention that I've got 2 of my ambassadors that already contributed in the IEEE Women in Engineering Leadership Summit. So yeah, this is a very popular one, and definitely we will encourage more women to join. And yeah, mentorship is very important scheme. Really, we want to focus on more it and have more events just which we can promote more support for women in engineering in that field. And I would like to thank our audience today for listening to us, and I hope all the advices that we've been given to them can be helpful for the future. And so what I'm trying to do now is just, I will stop the recording and then try to do the screenshot.